Hi there. This week we're going to go through chapter 7. We didn't really get a chance to go through it last week, so I want to make sure there's a few components of it that I go through. I probably will have several videos with this content. The first thing I want to talk about is relative hyperlinks. And this is something you already know. I'm just going to point it out to you, and I'm not going to show you a file with this one. But we know how hyperlinks work. We first have our attribute, our reference, quotes, take note, straight quotes. For some reason, my Mac continually puts curly or slanted quotes, and it does not work. So of course I lose my mind, and I've been doing this now for a while. So I have resolved the problem, at least I hope I have. But anyhow, you put the quotes around the page, and then you put the name, this is the name, and then you put your closing attribute. So that's pretty easy. Now, if you have it in a different folder, what you would do is, you have your index folder, but you might not have for example, your room, you might have a separate folder with all of the rooms for this is a particular hotel. So here is the name of the folder, take note, with a slash, just like if it was any other type of directory. So you shouldn't have a problem with that, hopefully. Because you're going to want to start to organize your content in a way where your images are in one place, your maybe audio might be in another place, maybe whatever you're going to do. If you're going to talk about some hobbies you have, you might have different attributes that you would have or different characteristics you would have in a different place. But you want to organize your web files and pages and your CSS page in some kind of an organization. You'll probably be creating folders. All right. This is what I wanted to talk about, and this is something called fragment identifiers. And really it is, you know how when you can jump to a page in a web, you click and you go right to the content you want, like for example, Edgar Allan, there's something on authors and you want to just go to the one on Edgar Allan Poe and you just click Poe and it takes you down to that piece. WikiLinks is known for that. Anyhow, this is called fragments and fragment IDs, and there's two components of them. First, there is something at the top where we call division ID top, and that's so that you can always go back to the top of your page. And then there is the anchor tab that actually is where you actually will link to the specific item in your content down below. So you have to set up this anchor tab for this, and it uses the number sign in the anchor tab. So let's actually look at an example. All right, so I had a heck of a time, as you probably figured, with the quotes. But let's talk about this. So here is our basic HTML code. This shouldn't look any different. Doc type, the whole heading that we need to put together. And then we go to our body, and here's where first of all, here's where we identify the top. ID quote, straight quotes, top, and straight quotes. Then, because this is a heading, we don't have to put, a slash. Headings, oh, it should have no, here it is, a slash. And then we have favorite sites, and that's just kind of the title, all right? So then we have an unordered list, UL, and here are the list items, LI, and these are going to be the links. So we have href, we already know that, straight quotes, and then we have number sign hobbies, and we put hobbies. Well, sure enough, if we go to heading number 2, we have ID, because it ties to the number sign, ID equals hobbies. It's got to be exactly alike. That's because it's going to look for that. And then it's got the name hobbies, and then the end of the heading. And here it's got a couple of things, data elements that I put by it, running, cooking. These were the two things that they have. So HTML, same thing, the number sign, HTML5, and then we go to the number sign, and then we go to ID, because the number sign then goes to the ID with the quotes, HTML5. All right, so then I added one, which was same thing, href, quotes, number sign, Marymount, end of quote, and take note, straight quotes. Then we have the name Marymount, closing of our attribute, and the closing of our list item. All right, And we go down here and we, sure enough, we have ID Marymount. It's exactly alike. So you start to see, it's just, if you copy and paste, be careful that all of the nomenclature copies exactly like it's supposed to. All right, and then we have the website for Marymount. So let's check, and then at the very bottom, we say href top, and then we can say back, so the word back will be here, and back takes us to the top. All right, let's look at this site to see what it looks like. So we open it up, file, open, and it's called favorites. Open it. And here we have favorite sites. We have all of our different links. So if we go to hobbies, it takes us to hobbies. We want to go back. I mean, this isn't the most convenient for going back. Go back to the top. You know, HTML. So we go to Marymount, the one I added. Marymount takes us down to Marymount. Here we go. Click on Marymount. Should take us to Marymount. And perfect. So go back to the top. You've done. All right. So that is how we do our anchoring, and that is how we also do our fragment identifications. You'll want to be able to do that within your website. Practice that, and I will be sending you a few more videos. Bye-bye.